Konnichiwa, Izam desu. Welcome to my channel. This is Izam and I have a very exciting video for you today. So I will be creating this particular artwork over here. It's done in Vectornator and it is just a basic how-to. I want you guys to experiment on your own regarding the colors and the positions and all that. We will also be requiring you guys to watch my previous video, which is this about bokeh effect. So I hope you like this, and without further ado, ikimasho. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with an A4 size canvas. Alright, so next I'm going to show you how to create this Japanese gate. They call it Torii. So let's start by drawing a rectangle like that. Okay, and let's set the color to a dark red, something like that, and make it a solid color. Set opacity to the highest, and that's it. Okay, so we have this. Use your pointer tool, the move tool, to move this over here, and we're going to, let me see, okay, next we're going to curve this. Okay, bring it down like that. You can double tap. Okay, make sure it's in the center, this one as well. Double tap. Alright, so let's copy and paste. So take note, this is your first layer. I'm going to label this as gate. Okay, so let's proceed. So we have this copy here. Let's make it shorter, less wide, and place it, align it in the center. Okay, both of them. And now let's draw another rectangle like that and place it here. Okay, let's make it a bit longer, something like that. And we have to duplicate this. Remember, copy and paste. Let's see what you got. See, and place it over here. All right. Okay, so next we're going to create another rectangle. Oh, we just copy and paste. All right, let's put it over here. Okay, so this one, just drag it over here and over here. Okay, make another rectangle, place it over here, something like this. Copy and paste, place it over here. Oop. Make sure you change to your move tool. We have a copy here. Make this slightly wider and a bit flatter, something like that. I guess this is okay, right? Something like this. 1 and 2, right? So select these two, copy and paste, and place it over here. Alright, so we got our gate. Well done. So I'm going to lock this for now. Well, let's resize this. Alright, so select all of this by swiping to the right like that. Okay, I'm going to resize. Okay, let's select all this, resize it, and place it in the center, something like this. Alright, we got it. Let's make a new layer and let's call it sun or the moon. Okay, let's maybe just call it moon, and we're going to draw a circle. So tap here, okay, and choose the circle and place it over here. Reminder, please lock your gate if you are not using it anymore. Alright, so we have this. Let's change the color. Go to style, go to fill, and this time around we're going to use the elliptical gradient. Alright, and let's choose the color. Well, the first color, which is inside, let's make it yellow. Move it over here, and the ones outside, let's make it a bit orangey, something like that. Alright, looking good. Now let's drag this gradient handle further, and I think, or maybe just put it, okay, I'm going to zoom in, let you see. Right, I'm going to place it over here just away from the edge. So if you have this, then it's good. So let's look at your layers again. Now let's duplicate this, copy and paste. So now we're going to create the glow effect around the moon. Alright, so we have the layer below it. Alright, and let's change the color first. The color outside is orange, right? So we're going to change the color to a much lighter one, and then bring this down, set the blur so that we have some blur. You can't see it right now because the background is white. So now talking about the background, alright, let's do something about that. So close this layer, lock it. Now I'll have another layer and let's call it background, BG. And now let's create a rectangle. Got your rectangle there, and let's just draw across the whole screen. Alright, so we got this. We need to change the fill. We're gonna make this into a dark scene, right? So this color, which is in the center, let's make it purplish but dark, something like that. And the outside color, also purplish and much darker, something like that. Alright, let's see if this works. Okay, and currently our BG layer is right on top, so let's move this and drag it down here. Okay, and if you notice, the moon is covering the gate, so drag this moon layer downwards below the gate, and you see, you can already see how beautiful this artwork is going to turn out. Alright, okay, go ahead and lock your BG layer, and let's reposition our moon. Remember this? Slide to the right to select all. You see that? I forgot to change the move panel, the move button. So change this to select and move again, and move it. Something like this. So now you can see the glow. Can you see that? So let's go back to the moon, get the glow, and let's see what happens if we add more blur to this. Alright, see? So for this, look at the blur, the glow. This is the color, which is light. What happens if we darken it? It becomes, it looks like that, right? If you make it more red, it's going to look kind of strong, a bit too strong, right? Like a blood moon. But it is up to you. For me, I think I'll set it to here, a bit lighter. Okay, so this is done. Let's not mess around too much with the moon. Go back to the layers panel, lock it, close this. So right now what we're going to do is this. We're going to create the reflection on the ground. Okay, but before we do that, we need a ground layer. So let's have another layer, and let's call this ground. Perfect. So now let's create the ground by clicking on this rectangle tool and drawing over here. Alright, so the ground, let's undo that. Okay, go. Remember to press the move button, alright, so that you don't accidentally create more rectangles. Okay, so the ground will we'll start off from the foot of the gate here, from the bottom of the gate right down here. Okay, so we have to change the fill. So for the fill, I'm going to change it to a dark one. So again, let's choose the purple color. For this time around, let's change the gradient to a linear gradient. So let's move this gradient handle over here. 1, 2. Notice that I place this gradient handle not here in the center, but just off here. Okay, because you might interfere when you want to resize this, because there are two handles. Okay, so there's that. So let's change that, and let's change this color to a much darker one, much darker, something like that. Ooh, it looks good, doesn't it? Okay, well actually this also looks good just now, right? Okay, but let's stick to this for now. Okay, you can create your own style much later on, right? So this is done for the ground. Now take note that the ground here, there is a blur going on, so remember to turn this off. Okay, so now there is no blur, it is very crisp looking. Okay, good. So that's that for the ground. Okay, we actually have to create the horizon, okay, because it will create a very interesting how do I say this, effect on your artwork. Let me show you what I mean by this. Let's create a new layer. Oh, let's undo that. Okay, let's create a new layer. That was the artboard. Okay, we don't want to use that, so let's just stick to one artboard. Okay, so we have a new layer here. Let's change the name to horizon. Okay, so we got this horizon layer done. Make sure you lock the rest of the layers. Have another rectangle and place it over here. Great. So check it out. This horizon, drag it below the ground. Alright, but the ground has to be below the horizon. Okay, so this is the order of the layers: gate, horizon, ground. Okay, so the horizon layer is above the ground because we're going to add some effect to it. Okay, just place it right in the center of the canvas. Let's have some fun. Let's change the color here. Again, let's change the gradient handle like that, up and down. Now the bottom color is dark, and that's the color that we want. Okay, so we got that. Let's change this color, all right, to let's create something interesting. Maybe this orangey or bluish if you want, or greenish. Okay, I like this. Let's change that to this turquoise or aquamarine kind of feel. The color at the top, this one, okay, let's set all the way down the opacity. Let's set it to 0. Okay, bring it down to 0. Bring this down like that. See this? Like that. So the gradient handle is just below the top line there, so that it is gradually fading off, something like that. Okay, you can bring this down as well if you want to. So make sure it is straight. Yes, great. Okay, so I'm going to place it like that. Okay, so you see there's a different color here, right? Okay, so this is done. So we have our horizon layer. Let's lock that. And we have gate, horizon, and ground, and the moon. Okay, here's the thing. We have to duplicate these things, gate, horizon, and the moon, and then reflect it on the ground. So let's begin. Let's begin with the moon. Slide this to the left, tap this, duplicate. Alright, so this particular thing, I want you to move here and rename this as moon reflect. Okay, we got that. This time we're going to slide it over here, tap here to duplicate. We got the gate copy, call it gate reflect. Got it. And next is the horizon. Slide it to the left, duplicate, rename this as horizon reflect. Got it. And place it over here. Alright, so now we will be selecting all of this. Let's see whether we can flip it vertically. We can. The thing is this, we can flip it vertically even though the layers are locked, but we cannot move it. Alright, so to move it, you need to unlock this. Change to your move tool and drag it all the way here. So make sure that the feet, okay, the bottom of the gate meets. Alright, snaps. If you don't have the snap to grid option turned on, do have it turned on. Alright, okay, so this is done. Okay, good. So now we have the reflection, but it's quite funny because this is on top, right? So lock back your reflection layers. The moon has to be below the gate, right? So place it over here. And the horizon, how about the horizon? Also below the gate, the horizon reflection. Okay, so that's done. So we have this original gate over here. Let's just place it here. So now let's get that reflection layers again. Okay, select all of them, go to the styles panel. Now set the opacity much lower, something like this. Alright, okay, got it? Okay, good. So we got this. Now go back to the layers panel. Let's make a new layer. So my new layer is right here. I'm gonna bring it up, drag it, and place it over here. Okay, we got it. Layer 1 is over here. Now let's create some ground, right? Some maybe puddles or something like that, so that it doesn't look too bare. The ground looks very bare right now. Okay, so let's create that easily by tapping this and tapping the circle, and let's draw. Okay, make sure, just now you saw it, right? The active layer is locked, so tap here to make this the active layer. Now let's draw. We can't see it because the style is here. Let's set the opacity, change that to 100% so that you can see it. Okay, so currently the fill is a solid color and this is what we want. Okay, and let's make it much darker, something like that, and just duplicate this. An easy way to duplicate is to tap here and just tap here and here and here and here, like that. Make sure you turn this off. Okay, alright, so now let's just resize it, make it flatter and or shorter, but I prefer something like this. So you can follow me so that you can create kind of a wave, an irregular pattern, and place it over here. Oh, let me see what happened there. Okay, and I'm just going to resize this. Okay, so we got this, right? Go back to the layers panel. I'm going to select all of this, and then I'm going to go here, the path panel, and I'm going to add all of them combined. So we got one solid shape like that, and I'm going to resize that and put it over here. All right, maybe like that. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste it and place it over here. Maybe resize it, something like this. Alright. Okay, so we got this. Great. So now let's create that vignette. Go to the layers panel, lock your, okay, let's rename this as puddles. Puddle. Yes. Make sure you lock all and create a new layer. Alright, so this is our layer. We're going to create a vignette. Okay, it is very easy. Just tap here and tap the rectangle button and draw across and tap style. We're going to change the color, and this has to be an elliptical gradient. And now let's have some fun. Let's make this in orange, and this one maybe still orange but a much darker one, something like that. And this, the color which is inside, change the opacity like that. See that? And move it closer. See, if you move it closer, it becomes like that. You can also drag this away. So this, okay, it doesn't look that great right now, so I'm going to change this color down like that, a much darker one. place it over here, and maybe I'm gonna drag this closer. See, it's closing in, so that the interesting thing that you see is only here. Okay, so I'm gonna closer like that. I'm also gonna move this downwards like that. Oh, I don't know what happened. I'm just gonna undo that. Okay, something like this. All right, so okay, if you see the horizontal, okay, I'm gonna lock this vignette. Now take a look at this horizon, and the horizon reflection doesn't really show, right? The one at the bottom. So let's do something about that. Let's change that opacity, make it a bit higher. But I think it's not because, let me see, okay, set the opacity of the bottom horizon to 100% so that you can see it, okay, so that it looks much nicer. Okay, do change the colors, all right? If it doesn't appeal to you, experiment. All right, okay, so we got this. Now here's the thing, if you have watched my previous videos, which I did the bokeh effect, which is here, right? I actually showed you how to create this, right? So you can refer to that video, right? You can just scroll through my channel, you will find it, and use that technique and add on to this, okay? And lay it over here. So that's basically it, guys. That's the technique to create something like this. All right, so all the best. All right, so I hope you liked that video, and if you do give it a thumbs up and 2 thumbs up. So, and don't forget to subscribe, okay, to my channel, because you will get notifications whenever I put up new stuff on there. So that's all I have to say, and I hope you have a great day, and that's it. Sayonara.